Portugal's Golden Visa is gone, but 5 programs just replaced it. For over a decade, Portugal's Golden Visa was the holy grail of residency by investment. Buy a property in Lisbon or Porto, get a European passport. Over 15,600 investors poured 7.3 billion euros into the program. Chinese billionaires, American retirees, and Middle Eastern families all lined up for the same prize, a backdoor into Europe. Then in October 2023, Portugal pulled the plug on real estate. The most popular investment route, used by 90% of applicants, gone overnight. And now, proposals on the table would double the citizenship timeline from 5 years to 10. Portugal's golden era is over. But the global golden visa market didn't die, it evolved. Today, 5 programs offer something Portugal no longer can. Some are cheaper, some are faster, and one gives you actual citizenship, not just residency. Portugal launched its golden visa in October 2012, during the aftermath of the European debt crisis. The country was broke, and it needed foreign cash, fast. The deal was simple. Invest 500,000 euros in Portuguese real estate, and receive a residency permit with visa-free access to all 27 Schengen countries. Live there 7 days per year. Apply for citizenship after just 5 years. It was the best deal in Europe, and the world noticed. Chinese investors led the charge. 5,319 visas issued to Chinese nationals alone, more than a third of all approvals. Brazilians came next, followed by South Africans, Turks, and Russians. By the end of 2023, the program had attracted 7.3 billion euros in total investment. Lisbon property prices surged 70% in a decade. Porto wasn't far behind. But that success created a backlash. Portuguese locals, especially younger renters, watched their housing costs skyrocket while foreign investors collected passports they barely used. The political pressure became unbearable. Here's the thing most people miss about golden visas. The program that sounds too good usually is. Portugal's deal was so generous, it was always going to attract political heat. In October 2023, Portugal officially removed real estate as a qualifying investment. The most popular route, the one that drove 90% of all applications, eliminated. What remains? Investment funds. You can still invest 500,000 euros into Portuguese venture capital or private equity funds that deploy at least 60% of their capital into companies headquartered in Portugal. There's also a 250,000 euro cultural donation route and a 350,000 euro research investment option. But the real blow came in 2025. The government proposed increasing the residency requirement for citizenship from 5 years to 10, and from when residency is actually granted, not when you apply. For a program already slowed by processing backlogs, that could mean 12 to 14 years from first application to Portuguese passport. The math no longer works. The flexibility that made Portugal special, low minimum stay, fast citizenship, real estate optionality, has been systematically dismantled. If you already have an active Portugal application, don't panic. Existing approvals are honored under the old rules. It's new applicants who face the tougher landscape. Greece is the closest thing to what Portugal used to be, and in some ways, it's better. The Greek Golden Visa still allows direct real estate investment. You buy property, you get residency. No fund managers, no venture capital middlemen. Bricks and mortar you can actually see. But the pricing has changed. Greece now runs a 3-tier system. Premium zones, Athens, Thessaloniki, Mykonos, Santorini, require 800,000 euros with a minimum property size of 120 square meters. Most other regions come in at 400,000 euros. And the bargain tier, 250,000 euros, is reserved for converting commercial buildings to residential or restoring listed heritage properties. What makes Greece compelling? Rental yields. Athens and the islands deliver 4 to 8% annual returns on residential property. That's not dead money sitting in a fund. It's income-producing real estate in one of the world's top tourist destinations. The residency permit is valid for 5 years and renewable. Your spouse and children under 21 are included. And after 7 years of actual residency, spending at least 183 days per year in Greece, you can apply for Greek citizenship through naturalization. That requires passing language and cultural exams. Processing takes 6 to 12 months. Not the fastest, but not the slowest either. The real value play in Greece right now? That €250,000 heritage restoration tier. You get EU residency for half the premium zone price, and restored buildings in Greek islands can command premium rental rates. Hungary is the new kid on the block, and it's making waves. The Guest Investor Residence Program launched in 2024, making it one of the newest Golden Visa programs in Europe. The entry point? €250,000 invested in an approved real estate fund regulated by the Hungarian National Bank. At least 40% of the fund's assets must be in Hungarian residential real estate. You hold the investment for a minimum of 5 years. There's also a €1 million donation route for those who prefer the philanthropic angle. Here's what makes Hungary stand out. The permit is valid for 10 years, renewable for another 10. That's the longest initial validity of any European Golden Visa. And there's zero minimum stay requirement. You don't need to spend a single day in Hungary to maintain your residency. Your spouse and dependent children get the same 10-year permit. Processing takes about 90 days for the initial decision, with the full process running 5 to 6 months. And as an EU and Schengen member, Hungarian residency gives you freedom of movement across 27 European countries. The catch? No direct real estate purchase. It's fund-based only since January 2025, when the €500,000 direct property route was abolished. And the citizenship path requires actual residency in Hungary. You can't just hold a permit. The 10-year permit with no minimum stay is the killer feature here. If you want EU access as an insurance policy without relocating, Hungary is hard to beat at €250,000. If your priority is zero income tax and world-class infrastructure, Dubai's Golden Visa is in a league of its own. The United Arab Emirates offers a 10-year renewable visa for real estate investors who purchase property worth at least 2 million dirhams, roughly $545,000. The processing is lightning fast. 2 to 4 weeks, that's it. Compare that to 12 months in Greece or 6 months in Hungary. But the headline benefit is tax. The UAE has zero personal income tax, zero capital gains tax, and zero inheritance tax. For high earners relocating from countries with progressive tax systems, the savings can dwarf the cost of the investment within a single year. Dubai's real estate market adds another layer. Rental yields in prime areas like Dubai Marina, Downtown, and Jumeirah Village Circle consistently hit 6 to 8%, some of the highest in the world for a major city. There's also a more affordable entry point. Investors aged 55 and older qualify for a 5-year retirement visa with just 1 million dirhams, about $272,000. And a basic 2-year residence visa requires only 750,000 dirhams, roughly $204,000. The trade-off? Dubai doesn't offer a pathway to citizenship. You'll have permanent residency and tax-free living, but you won't get a UAE passport. For some investors, that's a deal breaker. For others who care more about tax savings than a second passport, it's the clear winner. One thing people don't realize: Dubai's Golden Visa lets you stay outside the UAE for extended periods without losing your status. Most regular UAE visas expire if you leave for 6 months. The Golden Visa doesn't have that restriction. Malta offers something almost no other Golden Visa program does: permanent residency from day one. Not a 2-year permit, not a 5-year renewable card. Permanent. For life. The Malta Permanent Residence Program requires a €60,000 administration fee, a €37,000 government contribution, and a €2,000 NGO donation. On top of that, you either rent qualifying property from €14,000 per year or purchase from €375,000. You also need to demonstrate assets of at least €500,000, with $150,000 in financial form. It's not the cheapest option on this list, but the value proposition is unique. Malta is an English-speaking EU nation with a robust financial services sector, Mediterranean climate, and one of the world's strongest passports, ranked in the top 10 globally. The permanent residency covers your entire family, spouse, children, and even parents. And while the program doesn't automatically lead to Maltese citizenship, you can apply through the standard naturalization process after 4 years of physical residence out of the previous 6, including 12 consecutive months before applying. Processing takes 4 to 8 months. And here's the strategic angle. Malta's location between Europe and Africa, combined with its EU membership and English legal system, makes it a premier hub for international business structuring. Malta's real edge is stability. The program has survived EU scrutiny while other schemes collapsed. If you want a permanent EU base that isn't going to change the rules on you next year, Malta is the safe bet. Every other program on this list gives you residency, a right to live somewhere. Dominica gives you something more powerful, actual citizenship, a second passport, a new nationality. The Dominica Citizenship by Investment program is the most affordable path to a second passport in the world. A single applicant can qualify with a $200,000 donation to the Economic Diversification Fund. Families of up to 4 pay $250,000. There's also a real estate route starting at $200,000 plus $75,000 in government fees. The Dominica passport grants visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to over 145 countries, including the entire Schengen area, the United Kingdom, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Processing takes 6 to 9 months. There's zero residency requirement. You never need to set foot on the island. Dominica allows full dual citizenship, so you keep your original passport. And the country imposes no taxes on worldwide income, capital gains, or inheritance. For Americans, Dominica offers an emergency escape hatch. The citizenship is completely separate from their U.S. tax obligations. It doesn't help with the IRS. But it provides a second travel document, a Plan B jurisdiction, and a legal domicile in a zero-tax country. The trade-off? Dominica is a small Caribbean island nation. It doesn't carry the prestige or infrastructure of an EU country. And the citizenship doesn't grant automatic EU access for living, only for travel. Dominica is quietly the best-kept secret in investment migration. The program has been running since 1993, longer than Portugal's Golden Visa ever existed. It's battle-tested and it actually delivers citizenship, not just residency. So which program wins? It depends on what you're optimizing for. If you want real estate you can touch and EU access, Greece is your answer. Direct property ownership, Mediterranean lifestyle, and a clear 7-year citizenship path. But you'll pay 800,000 euros in Athens or Mykonos. If you want maximum flexibility at minimum cost, Hungary delivers. 250,000 euros, a 10-year EU permit, and 0 days you need to spend there. It's the ultimate insurance policy. If you want zero tax and fast processing, Dubai is unmatched. 2 to 4 weeks to approval, zero income tax, and rental yields that pay for themselves. No citizenship, but for most investors, the tax savings matter more than a passport. If you want permanent EU residency with institutional stability, Malta is the fortress. Permanent residence from day one, English-speaking, battle-tested program. Premium pricing, but premium security. And if you want a second passport, actual citizenship, for under $250,000, Dominica, no contest. The cheapest, fastest path to a new nationality on the planet. Portugal created the Golden Visa playbook, but the countries that learned from it are now offering better deals, faster timelines, and clearer rules. The golden age of Portugal is over. The golden age of choice is just beginning. If you had $250,000 to invest in a Golden Visa today, which of these 5 programs would you choose, and why? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want to understand how the ultra-wealthy use these programs to legally pay zero tax, watch this video next. Subscribe to Tax Map for weekly breakdowns of the world's most fascinating tax strategies.